We deliver and train doctors in the treatment of fungus toenails.
Ooh, that's nice.
That's been covered up all summer, and now we're going to talk about it when we take nail polish off and look at our nails and our feet.
It's interesting because when I go to get a manicure or pedicure, in the summer, you can hardly get a seat. You know, or you can hardly sit down because everybody's getting a pedicure. In the winter, nobody pays attention to their feet. You know what I mean? So nobody goes.
Correct.
But what causes that funky fungus that's so hard to get rid of?
Well, fungus lives in your shoes, and that's why we're going to talk about shoes. We're going to talk about toenails, but first let's talk about shoes.
Okay.
Let's talk about the slippers first here.
Wintertime's coming, and you've had these shoes packed away. They've been resting and hibernating, and now we're going to look at a shoe and see if it really is fit to wear in the winter weather.
What do you mean?
Well, first of all, they can get cracks from the dryness in the closet. They can split. Water can get in it. And water moisture is a horrible thing for the feet. You can get dried out feet, cracks in the heels. You can get fungus because fungus is a plant. It likes to grow in a warm, moist, dark environment, which are your shoes.
So watch for the cracks?
The cracks, whether it's worn out.
In the shoes?
Around the shoes, in the shoes, worn out shoes.
Okay.
You need to look at your shoes before you put them on, especially if it's raining out, because water can get right in a shoe that's been damaged by drying out from the damp dryness that happens in closets.
My daughter on Sunday goes, "Dad, I need some new Uggs."
There they are.
Shoes like this. Are these good or bad?
They're good to wear. They keep you warm. They're not a good shoe to wear for miles and miles if you're shopping, standing, but it's a nice shoe to wear to go to work and then slip into something else.
All right. Well, we have this big shoe here. It's funny. We were talking about this segment. I said, "Oh, Mike, this is just what did I say?"
Shoe.
We have a big man's foot.
I don't know a shoe that would fit that.
I know. I don't know where that came from, but I brought it up because I told Mike. I said, "You need to make sure you're over here on the segment because you know men get fungus on their feet," and I'm being silly. But when I picture fungus, I picture a big old man's foot, and I guess that's not fair, is it, Mike?
You picture Bigfoot?
I picture just a big old man's foot.
Big old
man. Nasty stuff all in there.
Do you know that one toenail and anybody under 50 years old will have a fungus infection at least once in their life? One. I don't know if you guys have it. We're very happy to examine you at a later date.
I think I'm good, actually.
I'm glad.
I have another question for you, and I'll be honest, coming up in just a bit. But so what do we need to know? Just to check?
Well, if we're talking about women, we want to have them first take their nail polish off. Look, you're used to wearing gorgeous, and it looks great with nail polish and sandals. But let's take a look at nail polish removers, get all of it off, and look at the toenails. If they're yellow, thick, discolored, they don't look right, sometimes they may smell, that's the time to see a podiatrist to see if it is a fungus. Fortunately, a lot of people are afraid of the oral medications called Lamisil. It's something you have to take by mouth.
I thought that was the only way to get rid of nail fungus.
It's effective, but it does have side effects, and you have to have blood tests.
Wow.
Because it can hurt your liver, as I understand.
Really?
It has the potential of hurting your liver, among other things. In my 10 years of using it, I saw severe rashes, high reoccurrences.
Do they have it in a cream? I thought they had it in a cream.
Creams work for the skin, but they don't work for the toenail.
Well, what are you suggesting? If you don't want to put that medication in your body, and plus you have to have a blood test before you take it.
Absolutely.
What do you suggest?
Well, that's why we have lasers, and that's why we're talking about it. We have lasers that are painless. They will kill the fungus by raising the temperature of the nail. Fungus can't grow in a certain temperature. It's actually 50 degrees centigrade internal. Yes,
I'm going to tell you this, doctor, because we're going to get a ton of calls for this because people are embarrassed by the fungus.
Yes, they are.
How do we connect with you to get this laser treatment?
Well, we do have a website. It's called clearlybeautifulnails.com. We actually locate doctors or podiatrists in your area that are using lasers, and that's our job, so you can locally have the treatment done. I practice, I'm a part-time practitioner, but I've dedicated the rest of my career. I've been in practice for 30 years, and my goal is to have patients able to use lasers and doctors able to use lasers because they're expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
I got to tell you, I've had this trouble at one point in my life, and I had to take that medication. That's why I know about the liver damage and all that. This is fantastic.
Well, I'm glad.
That you can get a laser.
Yes. Yeah. And pleasure. Thank you.
You demand.
And what? Really quickly, go ahead.
And I was going to say is that, let's say you have a laser treatment and you get a reoccurrence. It can be easily treated with a second treatment.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
Okay.
Dr. David Zuckerman, go to his website. Here's Jim.